on, bud. So, right now in Orono, it's about 2:30 a.m., something like that. Could be closer to 3 a.m., but it's around 2:30, 3 a.m. in Ontario, Canada. And, there's the pool. Okay, right over here is a sign. This is Buttercup Hollow, the Orono Park. Since 1923, Memorial Park. Yeah, it's a great little park. Yeah, we got an outside pool, but it's only, what sucks about it is it's not open very late. And it's only opened from basically the day school ends until the day school starts again from in the summer. So it's going to be closed next week, which it should still be open after 3:30. Like this year in Ontario, Canada, it hasn't been extremely warm summer. So I'm thinking it's going to be a very cold winter. There's going to be a crap load of snow this winter, and yeah, but at the same time, like I said with the pool, yeah, like, okay, kids are going back to school, but have it open from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Like, lots of kids that still go swimming. But no. Next week it'll be closed for the summer. It's only open for about 2.5 months a year. But we got the splash pad, which is Tank's favorite part of living in Orono. Is this Bubber loves the splash pad. The absolute favorite part of the summer is being able to go in the splash pad. Like, you can see some of the other videos on my channel, and he loves eating the water. I take him to play tennis, and then I let him, which sometimes it does scare me, because you've heard about those videos where, you know, the dog's stomachs turn or something like that, which scares the shit out. Like, to think of his stomach turning, and oh my god, Right. This summer alone, he's cost me and my beautiful mother $1,600, $1,000 because he got Lyme disease. So the one veterinarian, which she was horrible, she cost $700, and she wouldn't even go anywhere near Tank. And she assumed it was, I don't know, even know what she thought it was. She just gave us some pills for his stomach. And then the next day, the guy did basically all the same stuff, like blood work and blah, blah, blah. Same stuff that they did the day before. But he actually asked me questions, and he got down and he was petting Tank and, seeing what was up. And he seen that, like, how his paws were, hurting. Like, he basically seemed like, Tank couldn't walk on his own. I had to pick him up and get him on all 4 feet. Once he was on all 4 feet, he basically walked like a 200-year-old person with, I don't know, he could barely walk. But yeah, the lady before was horrible. $700 for her, and then the next day, basically all the same stuff, but the guy diagnosed it properly with Lyme disease, and it cost $300. So it's not about the veterinarian that you go to or the place. It's about the actual person and how much they feel like charging you, which is horrible. How does one person charge you $700 and then the next person charges you $300 for basically the same thing, and the one person that charges you $700 doesn't even get the diagnosis right, and the person that charges you $300 gets the diagnosis right? Anyway, Tank took a poop over here, and I hate it when people don't pick up their dog poop. So I always make sure I have bags, and I'm gonna pick up some poop. Hi, buddy. Yeah, here's your poop. He's a good boy. Oh, you're such a handsome boy. Where are you going? Yeah, people in general, they're horrible. There are very nice people, but the majority of people out there, they're just out there for the money. Like the guy that I seen at the animal, it was like a 24/7 animal clinic. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a 24/7 animal clinic, which their prices were, fairly good. It wasn't, like, it was, a normal clinic, but also like an emergency clinic. So you could go there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but you could also go there at 3 a.m. in the morning, and their prices don't change. But yeah, that lady that I seen the first day, she just completely rubbed me the wrong way. And even more so after I seen the guy the next day. Because, like I said, she would not, like, she barely even made eye contact. Like, it was like she didn't like animals. Like, why are you a veterinarian? I get it. Okay, you're making half decent money, but fuck, those are the kind of people that normal people can't stand. And they're also the people that, this is bad to say, but people, do really bad things to people like that when they feel like they've been scorned. Some people do really bad things to, whether it's a lawyer or a vet or a doctor or, somebody that you're paying a large amount of money to and you feel like they've taken advantage of you. Some people will do extremely bad things. Get into a profession that you like to do. Don't do it for the money. Do it because it's something you like to do and you have a passion for it. Doing something because you think it's good money and you're smart enough to do it. Yeah, well, great. You might be smart enough to do it, but you might not make it to the age of 40 because if you fuck somebody over, some people might take your life and not give a shit about their own. Especially like if you are responsible for, maybe killing their best friend, or they feel like you had a part in doing something bad to, whether it's a family member or whatever the case might be. It's just not worth it. Do something you want to do and you like to do, or just get a job. Don't get a career. I have a job. I work in a factory. I make almost $30 an hour. Yeah, no, do I love it? Fuck no. But I start at one time, I finish at one time, and when I leave, I don't take anything home with me. If I was a veterinarian, then I would take stuff home with me because I would feel horrible about all the death. Great, you help all these animals, but there's also a lot of death. Like, for instance, when I was about 24, I had this little, it just hurts me talking about it. I didn't know he was outside, and because I was living in a basement apartment, and this was around, I don't know, 2004 or 2006 or somewhere around there, I'd say, something like that. So cell phones weren't like they are now. So I did have a cell phone, and the guy that I was trying to work for called me, but it was late at night, and I don't know, it was, I'd say April, May, something like that, right? So it was probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and this guy called me. And so I get on the phone with this guy, and I start talking to him about, I've worked for him before, so I start talking to him again about working for him again that summer, and we're talking, and like, if you parked cars in this driveway, like, I was renting a basement apartment, so if you park cars in the driveway, you could probably park about 4 cars, like, nose to butt, in the driveway. And my door was in the backyard, so I left my door. Like, I vaguely remember my dog following me outside, but I didn't think about it. And I forgot to close the gate. But I wasn't thinking about my dog being outside, and he was in bed with me. Like, I was going to sleep. And every dog I've ever had, they always sleep in the same bed with me. Some people don't do it, some people do. Tank, he sleeps in the same bed with me. Anyway, so, and the other thing, I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. So I was high on weed, and I was pacing back and forth on the sidewalk. So I was walking up and down on the sidewalk, just like back and forth in front of the house. And so I'm walking back and forth in front of the house, and I noticed this lady with her two bigger dogs, like dogs about the size of Tank. They weren't dogs like him, but they were, about his size. And she's walking down, and I just glanced at her. She didn't even really compute, about this lady. And then, talking, pacing back and forth. And then all of a sudden, I see my little dog Sparky, which was like, he was like half Jack Russell, half Chihuahua kind of thing. He was so adorable. Like I say, he was my best friend. And we're in a basement apartment, basically with no windows. And in a month, we were moving out to a house. So I was so excited for him to have a real backyard and, windows to look out of. And I had talked to him about it a bunch of times because he had scratched the shit out of the door because he hated being stuck in the house all the time when I was gone to work. So I was excited for him. And so he notices this lady and her two dogs on the other side of the street. And he's just starts walking across the road, just like a road like this. Just starts and a Ford F-150 is coming down the road. And just boom, hits him. And obviously I lose my shit. It was absolutely heartbreaking. Anyway, I start banging on my landlord's door because they lived upstairs from me. The place I live in now, the landlord doesn't live here. It's all rental units. But yeah, and the landlords really liked me, and they loved my dog. My dog and their dog were like best friends. And so the owner, the guy, starts driving me to an animal, but it wasn't even a 24/7. It was just the first, he didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. He was just driving me to a vet clinic. And I could just feel my dog I could feel his bones cracking in my hands, and he died right there in my hands in the car. Absolutely heartbreaking. And that's one of those reasons why I hate people not having their dog on a leash. Like, my dog Sparky was amazing. He always listened. If I would have noticed him, I could have called him back and he would have came right back. But I didn't notice him. I wasn't paying attention. Just for that little bit. If I would have noticed him, he would have been fine. I could have yelled at him and he would have came right back immediately. But that's what happens. Dogs, when they see a squirrel or they see this or that, he wasn't running across the road chasing anything. He was just, And it happens. Accidents happen. Keep your dog on a leash if you love your animals. Or shit happens. Yeah, accidents happen. That's why they call them accidents. They don't call them accidents because they happen to everybody. It's an accident because it didn't happen on purpose. I love you guys. Take it easy. I hope you have a great night, a great weekend, and a great week. And please sign up on my account, log in, hit the subscribe button. Just I don't care about anything else. Just subscribe to my channel, please. It would really help me out. And it would help my big boy Tank out. Thanks again.